1, 2, 3.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Bad cops, bad cops. Bad cops, bad cops. Bad cops, bad cops. Bad cops, bad cops.
Yes, so many cops are on the tick. What do you expect when they use tear gas and tanks? Whether in a car or on a horse, cops don't mind using excessive force.
Bad cops, bad cops.
What you gonna do?
Bad cops, bad cops.
What you gonna do?
Bad cops, bad cops.
What you gonna do?
Bad cops, bad cops.
This is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
So, or someone could throw water at me and I can do that.
Oh, you definitely could. You definitely could.
Hey, yo. Survey says cops in San Diego fucking killed a woman in an eviction. She attacked her with a knife and they shot her a bunch of times instead of doing other stuff. Because that's what
they've seen too many martial arts films. That's what it is.
Yeah, so a lot of, like I said, this before this tape, this feels kind of racist to me, but no one's gonna say it that way. No one's gonna, because the cops did it. The cops killed the person. So
so it's okay.
Yeah, so I wanna pull this up. A body cam video shows lawman shoot, kill woman in eviction knife attack. So this headline is a lot of jumbled up shit. So more than 10 minutes of footage released on Friday. So pretty much law enforcement personnel, I like how they just like make them seem like they're just like guys with like ties and eyeglasses. They were armed men attempting to serve an eviction papers to a woman in Little Italy, killing a 47-year-old, what's that, Yang Lee, in a hallway outside of an apartment. And all 3 sheriff's deputies and an officer discharged their service weapons. How many people was that?
Is that 3 or 4?
It sounds like 4 people. 4
men, it's 4. Yep.
Gunned down. 1 lady who had a knife.
Why do you need sheriffs and a police officer? I don't understand that.
So a San Diego canine unit. They had a canine unit. This is like no wonder the cops are not saying much about this. I don't know why they need a canine unit. Suffered a stab wound to the chest. His name was.
Maybe they thought that it was a black person, so that they were kicking out.
So, someone play this video. Hopefully, it doesn't actually play the clip of what happened. This plays the report. So, like you said, like I wasn't even being the asshole. I felt there was a language barrier happening. You're doing some racist assholes. You didn't understand what the fuck was going on, and shot this lady down.
Drop
but
the knife, ma'am. Drop the knife.
Why
you will be shot. Do you understand?
Intense new body cam video.
She's holding a piece of paper.
A deadly shooting
There's the eviction
sheriff's
notice.
Deputies and San Diego police officers at a Little Italy condo complex last week. A woman who attacked
that could have been de-escalated.
Died, and it came
Totally.
Pause the video right quick. It's the first thing I think in a situation like that, right?
We normal dudes. We're just normal dudes off the street, right?
Right. The first thing, because the thing is, she didn't throw the knife; she threw the paper, right?
Yeah.
And then she closed the door, right?
Yeah.
The logical thing in that situation, because you know how the cops always say it was a split-second decision, right?
Yeah, yeah.
The door is closed. She can't stab you through the door, so that slows things down. The first thing I would think in that situation is we probably need to get a translator over here.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, let's get a mental health professional and a translator. Somebody to calm this woman down. Perhaps bring a woman over there. I think that that's reasonable.
And this is when you have armed men evicting people, doing the job for landlords. Now they're renting that place out for more money now, you know. Landlords, where's the landlord?
The landlord doesn't care. The landlord doesn't care one way or the other how you get her out of there. Oh, she's dead? All right, I can auction her stuff off. Bye. Get her out of here.
So this is what pisses me off the most. The cops and the landlord, you don't hear nothing from the landlord, nothing from anybody who owned the building, that a woman was murdered in their building, whether she was behind 100 years in rent. Someone was dead now. So,
well, you're not hearing anything from the landlord because they're too busy trying to post a notice for their apartment trying to rent it.
in Little Italy with what the video is revealing. Jamie.
Kathleen, we're seeing 3 separate body-worn camera angles in this very violent exchange, and we do want to warn
3 cameras.
There's only one exchange. It's not an exchange. The bullets went from one direction to that direction.
I like how they still try to give like it's a both sides situation.
Yeah, they keep trying to whitewash it. You know, like something positive and flowery happened.
Like the exchange.
viewers that it is graphic, and if you are sensitive, this is a tough thing to see.
Is a notice to evict. Okay.
What?
Should notice for put the knife down.
This is body-worn camera footage from March 3rd when a San Diego.
And who knows whether she was cooking food and she answered the door. There's so many questions to the situation that the cops are not saying shit about.
And she slammed the door in their face.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It was not a split second. Oh my God, I need to shoot. It was not a split second. Oh, we got a standoff here. Right? Because that's what they would do if it was a guy, if it was a white man with an AR-15, right? They'd call him a negotiator.
Yeah, if they get him Burger King and give him a back massage.
Oh, yeah. Right?
Yeah.
You know, like I don't get why this was necessary. You can't even claim, oh my God, scary black man.
Chicago Sheriff's deputy was serving an eviction letter to 47-year-old Yan Lee, a real estate agent living in the Agua Vista apartment complex. The video shows a brief, tense confrontation that escalates. Then the deputy calls for backup.
Evicting a real estate
the
agent?
deputy does not identify himself as an
Canine
officer,
dog?
but when
What the
backup arrives,
Yo, this is OD. This is OD.
Yo, you can swear, dude, you can swear that they coming for a black family. Full of children.
John Wick. They're coming for John Wick or somebody in here, yo. So what is this shit? Yo?
They're like, oh my God, she's holding a pencil.
Yo, son. Stickers are out.
And deputies do identify themselves.
Hey, this is the sheriff's department with the San Diego Police Department. We're both here.
Why do you even have the gun out?
Put the knife down and open the door.
Then a team of officers, deputies, and a canine enter the apartment. Less lethal rounds are fired at Lee. Then she charges officers with a large chef's knife, stabbing a San Diego police officer. Then Lee is fired on by 3 deputies and a San Diego police officer, killing her on the spot. Before the incident, investigators say a plumber walking by warned the deputy that he had been threatened by Lee the day before while he was trying to fix a leaky pipe in Lee's apartment.
She flashed the knife that looked like something from the movie Halloween, a large kitchen knife. And you know, kitchen knives belong in the kitchen. She came out of the bedroom with that thing, and she came at us.
Chris Valencia says his experience is making him far more cautious at work, but still he is heartbroken for
the lady's family. I mean, of course for her too, but her family and her friends.
Now, the San Diego police officer that was stabbed is expected to make a full recovery, and if you'd like to see the entire...
So it's just crazy how we're annoying.
No, we don't want to see shit if you'd like to. What kind of fucking invitation is that?
Like a global pandemic happened and we expect people to just be like normal people getting kicked out of their fucking homes. I know that, some people might say, well... The total mental health crisis is happening unabated.
Yeah, some people might say, the officer's job is to be able to go home and, somebody's like stabbing somebody, like they have to fire and shoot to kill. I get all of that. But so many things could have been done before it got to that point. She slammed the door in your face, in your face, right? You go and you get somebody that can de-escalate the situation. The plumber was there the day before. She flashed a knife. He didn't get stabbed.
Yeah.
So it's hard to blame the officers once she had already lunged with the knife, but they could have prevented her lunging with the knife. She slammed the door closed already.
Yeah, it's crazy how the plumber dealt with it better than like 6-7 officers in the canine unit.
Why is the canine? What do you need a dog to? What do you need a dog for?
So this is, and like, it's not an isolated incident. This is happening all across the country. You have people getting murdered by housing court bailiffs, by sheriffs, or killing themselves before the cops come. This is what happens when you don't help people. financially, mentally, healthcare wise, help people, just let people out on their own, and this is what you're gonna get. So I want to place another thing that happened in February. A man fairly shot by a Cleveland housing court bailiff doing eviction, fought to keep bailiffs from getting inside home, records say. So another guy in Cleveland, same situation, similar situation. A 36-year-old man fatally shot Thursday by a housing court bailiff doing eviction, fought to keep officials. So he didn't even have a knife. He just had a blunt object, and they killed him. So
they said they hit him with a blunt. He hit a maintenance guy with a blunt object.
So the same situation. You had a maintenance guy, a plumber, show up a day before or a few days before. Something violent happened, or threatening violent happened, and then the bailiff show up, and they shot Edwards after he attacked the maintenance worker and deputy bailiff, according to police.
A housing court bailiff outside the court. Somebody tell me that. Like what are you doing? You're supposed to be standing next to the judge, protecting the judge. Like what are you doing? What are you doing?
So bailiffs, that's another question. Bailiffs are required to get certified at the Ohio Peace Officer Training Commission, are armed and carry batons, paper spray, much like police officers. The housing court's policy allows the bailiff to use lethal force if someone threatens them or someone else with a weapon. Deputy bailiffs do not carry body cameras.
They're like, yo, we can't send police because there's going to be a paper trail. Send this guy that's supposed to stand next to the judge. Oh, and give him pepper spray, a baton, and a gun, and let him choose which of the three he wants to use.
So this is
with
the
no
guy
body cam.
So the guy they evicted has like a long criminal record. He has Edwards' only trouble with the law was 2004 case in which he pleaded no contest to minor misdemeanor trespassing and was fined $75. This could be anything. It could be going to a construction site or like an abandoned house. Who knows? He was evicted from.
Oh yeah, they definitely need to pull the pistol on him.
He was evicted from an apartment on Lorraine Road in 2008. More recently, he was fired from his job at Restore Juice Bar in downtown Cleveland, according to police reports. This is dystopian reality we live in, ladies and gentlemen. It's a police report that you got laid off or fired from your job. Probable cause for you to be murdered.
And they fired him because he began talking to no one while working in the kitchen. I mean, never mind the fact that he was doing the job. He was talking to himself, so we had to get rid of him.
So this is a total mental health issue. This is being pushed along, that finally the cops have to deal with. The cops or a fake cop kills this man. This goes another situation of mental health issues.
Was his name Paul Blart?
How are the cops going to deal with mentally ill people who need to be evicted? This is most evictions so far has been mentally disturbed people being murdered by police officers.
But think about it though. Who's not mentally disturbed when they're being evicted?
So in August 2021, Edwards refused to allow maintenance workers into his apartment to check for lead. Cleveland police arrived at the scene to conduct a welfare check after the landlord told police he hadn't left his apartment in at least a month.
So
officers noted Edwards' apartment smelled a pile of garbage. It sounds like a cry for help. It doesn't sound like go there and murder somebody. So the eviction was filed in court on September 8th, and court records said Edwards hadn't paid his $500.
Well, his health score was too low, Messiah.
So on September 1st, the landlord posted a notice of eviction at Edwards' door less than a week after the U.S. Supreme Court struck down that, this is cold-blooded,
Yep. We're gonna have a lot of stories. We might even need a new segment for this shit because we're gonna have a lot of stories like this.
So the eviction was put on hold for several months, in part because Judge Mona Scott hadn't received confirmation that city inspectors deemed the building lead safe. The housing court magistrate signed off an eviction on January 15th and set a final move-out date for Thursday, when the average temperature for the day was 16 degrees.
Yep.
That's when you kick somebody out their house when it's freezing outside.
Because they're going to be so angry and hot. You want them to cool off.
So clearly someone was having a lot of problems in his life. But, he's murdered now.
To the problems. As many problems as possible.
So, and unfortunately, I can go down to the next. There's another one. There's another one after this. And I actually have a clip of this. This happened in Georgia, our favorite state, where they chase joggers down and shoot them with shotguns. They also kill veterans or have veterans kill themselves.
Warner Robins after an officer tried to serve him an eviction notice.
Ashlyn Webb was there and brings you the latest details in tonight's top story.
This is the third
way
time
those
this
two
week
address,
where
they don't know
standoff
what an
with
eviction
Central
is.
Georgia law enforcement ended with a man dead. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation is handling all 3 cases. This is what we know so far on each of them. The most recent case, Monday around noon at the Tanglewood Apartments on Alberta Road in Warner Robins. According to Captain John Holland with the Houston County Sheriff's Office, one of their deputies heard a single shot fired while serving eviction notices.
The deputy sought cover at that point, called out on the radio.
More deputies from Houston County responded, along with Warner Robins and Centerville Police. You could see law enforcement surrounding the apartment in a 2-hour standoff.
They heard a secondary shot at that time.
Holland says shortly after, deputies moved in, got into the apartment, and found a man dead. Captain Holland says deputies never fired a shot. He won't confirm that the man committed suicide, but adds,
both shots were contained within the apartment, I will say that.
Then in Macon on Thursday, the GBI says a state highway assistance driver stopped to check on a car parked along I-75 between the Bass and Riverside exits. When the man inside would not respond, the state driver called law enforcement.
What kind of report is this? This is a suicide report? What the fuck is going on in Georgia?
Fired a gun several times in his car and then got out and pointed a gun at officers who shot him. And last Tuesday, a crisis
suicide by cop.
standoff ended with another man dead. Perry police say they got a call about a suicidal person with a gun. Police began to speak with a man, 32-year-old Matthew Deese.
So this is what we need to do, America. We need to give all the guns to everybody, no permit guns, all that shit. We just do it. We just do that.
He refused and was shot and killed by Houston County deputies. The GBI says all 3 investigations are still open. Back to you in the studio.
That sounds like a fucking mess in Georgia. Good luck. So
I didn't even think of that. Like, you're gonna have people that are gonna be like, well, because the thing is, a lot of people. I used to think about this too, man. When I was a kid, I used to think that because my family members were so intelligent that we were above being homeless until we were homeless, right? And that was me as a kid. Can you imagine somebody who talks about homeless people as a concept their whole lives because they think because they're hardworking Americans and they did things the right way that they could never be homeless because they're hardworking Americans, right? Yeah. And then the Rona comes, and then they get laid off, or their job just goes into moratorium. They're still employed, but they can't make any money because their job shut down. And now they're looking at eviction, right? Something that they were so proud of never having to face. It's possible that some of these people will just think, well, my life is over today anyway, and just give up.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that possibility.
Yeah, and you have some kind of, who knows what happened with this situation with this man in an apartment complex who killed himself while being served an eviction notice. By armed police. So this is
I think we reported on it when they first created the eviction moratorium, and we were talking about how many lives they expected to have been saved just with the eviction moratorium, because when people are homeless, a lot of bad things can happen to them, including but not limited to infection that leads to permanent medical conditions and death. Yeah, there were other ways,
and now
that people were dying from the pandemic.
Yeah,
that had nothing to do.
And then we had a serial killer on the loose who killed homeless people in D.C., New York City.
Yeah,
I mean, what the fuck is this? Is this a Batman movie all of a sudden? I mean, this is crazy shit. Yeah, actual serial killer was roaming the streets,
and he's the second one since the Rona happened here in New York City. That we had one guy that was just stabbing homeless people on the train. That was like last year or the year before. And you had people that just targeting homeless people that are just minding their own business sitting in the street.
Yeah.
But then, you think about, all the things that could happen to a homeless person that may not necessarily be violent in nature, but still lead to the premature end of their lives.
Like institutional violence. You mean, just not having an address, how crazy that is not to have an address. People don't really take that for granted. You know, you can't, even if you have a job, where's your check gonna go? Even if where you're gonna get a bank account if you don't have an address. So it's like,
I mean, you and I, we went through it. You know, we were employed in the homeless shelter.
Yeah.
You know,
we had to use the shelter for your address in order to get those things going. Otherwise, you know, so if you're homeless and don't have that shit, then you're just a floating, you're just invisible person. You're literally an invisible person who has no foundation at all, no institutional foundation, no nothing.
If you get bounced around from homeless shelter to homeless shelter, you could lose vital documents like state ID, birth certificate, social security card. You know how hard it is when you don't have an address? How hard it is to get those vital documents, because they won't even help you if you don't get those vital documents.
Yeah.
Don't ask me how I know that.
No,
and a lot of people don't understand these concepts, but we lived it.
Yeah.
But some people they're not psychologically prepared for that to be their reality, because they only saw that on the news. They only saw it in movies. They only read about it in books and magazines and on the internet.
Yeah,
to them, it's a foreign concept. And when it comes to their door, how do you think they're going to handle it? Yeah, they're going to be mentally disturbed.
Yeah, and people, and then the way homelessness is depicted, it's depicted as like the most disgusting thing, kind of like
because you have to be a loser for it to happen to you.
Like a nasty homeless guy with fucked up nails, with mad animals around them. And there's never the idea of like, oh, someone who's just like in a shelter who's working 2 jobs. So that's not.
Or somebody that lost their home in a house fire.
Yeah, no.
You know, or, you know, a man or a woman that were victims of domestic violence and they had to leave and they had nowhere to go.
Yeah, with their children.
Right.
With their children, yeah.
Or the Rona takes their job away and there are lockdowns, and like, what else are you going to do? Oh, and then, you know, your rent is $1,500 a month, but they only want to pay you $7.25 an hour. So you know that if you take that job, you're wasting your time because you're still not going to be able to pay your rent.
They killed this man in Ohio over Owen. I mean, he was behind rent since April, which was only $560 a month. He died over that. He died over $560 a month. This is what this man died over. You know, the mafia wouldn't kill you over that shit. What the fuck is going on? You know, like.
Are you sure?
I mean, I don't think you can get fucking killed over fucking this, like over fucking $5,000. What the fuck?
No, they'll kill you. They'll kill you over being black and saying forget about it.
I'm just saying.
They'll
like,
kill you for cultural appropriation.
You need to owe like fucking thousands and thousands of dollars before someone starts breaking your fucking fingers and shit like that. That's even to break your fingers.
Kneecapping you.
Yeah, but you're not killing you because you need to make the money. Now you're gonna kill you.
You got that housing court bailiff, son.
That's
they give him
this
a gun.
This is the opposite. This is the most counterproductive shit ever. You're gonna kill someone who owes you money. That's the stupidest shit you can possibly do.
Well, it's also a very effective way of evicting them from the premises, I guess, according to them.
Yes, exactly. So then it must not be about the money, because you're getting people just fucking murdered by sheriffs and weird bailiffs.
I mean, we did that report last year when the guy was like really happy. That lawyer was really happy to fuck that guy's life up, and they were like, yeah, we had like they had the program to help people who were backed up, and it was like, nah, we don't want that money. We don't want that money. So it was never about the money.
So yeah, it's not even there you go. It's not about the money. It's something else sinister is really going on here in this country.
Yeah, we've been reporting on shit before it happens.
Yeah, so this is Black Power Magic Hour.
That's why share, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, because we're ahead of the curve on all these stories. This is shit that we predicted over a year ago.
So you can follow us on all those platforms. Dr. Genius, he's talking shit on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and that's bad cops somehow evicting people
into graves.